Good morning and happy Friday. It is Barbara, the East Coast Dragon Lady, coming to you on a very hot, humid few days in a row here on the East Coast of the United States. So lots of things. When I decided I was going to do a longer video, my dragon said, good, because you've got a lot to talk about. So I'm trying to think in which order. I think the first thing I want to share with you is a personal story, which I'm still smiling about because it's the second time it's happened. So I have not an extremely small dog, but I have on the larger size Min Pin, who is old, diabetic, and has gone blind. He is navigating everything beautifully, and if we are lucky, he is a candidate for cataract surgery. But the reason I tell you that he's blind, he can see nothing. When we go out on our little walk, because he's venturing further these days, obviously on a leash, he has visibly jumped back multiple times, like there's a barrier or there's something stopping him. And then I became very aware that there was several dragons like looking at him and getting in his way. And so a couple of weeks ago, I had the same thing, and I heard them say, "Is that a dragon?" And I was like, "Oh no, that's the dog." Didn't think any more about it. Yesterday, they were very insistent that he was actually a dragon. And why did I have him on a leash? And they were visibly upset because they felt that I was restraining a dragon. So it made sense to me that he'd been bumping into them. I've also noticed outside, I live in a condo complex, and outside my patio there's grass, and it looks like something big has laid down in the grass. So at least 2 dragons sleep outside my condo. But they were very upset because a lot of you may know, or you may not know this, that a lot of dragons after Atlantis sank or vanished, whichever you believe in, dragons scattered to all points of the galaxies. And some of them had actually been tied up, chained down. So they were really worried that my dog, that I was restraining him. So after I explained that he was a dog, they were still insistent that he's actually a small dragon. So now I have a small dragon. I'm working on some other things about embodying my dragon. My dragons, any of you that saw any of my talk on last Sunday, I've been told that I was a dragon 3 times. And they're wanting me to remember all 3 occasions. And also, I'm looking about embodying dragons. So I will bring you up to date on that when I know more about it, or when it comes to me, or a few people have offered some help around that. So that brings me to today, which, again, I am not overly familiar on some of these things. But today is the last day of the Sirius Gate portal opening. And that opened on the 3rd of July and goes through to the 7th. So this is what I've got when I Googled it. When our sun comes into conjunction with the star Sirius from the 3rd to the 7th of July, the Sirius Gate portal becomes activated. During this time, our sun is the farthest away from the Earth, and we are able to abundantly receive the flow of Sirian energy with ease, shining 23 times brighter than our sun. Sirius is considered to be our spiritual sun, holding the vibration of awakening and transformation. So tonight is the night to anchor that in. And listening to somebody else on YouTube, they were saying this is the opening to the Lionsgate portal, which will be on 8/8. So we've got lots of portals and things. So no coincidence that today, when I pulled a card for us from Diana Cooper's deck, this is what came out. And again, you can't make this up, right? The dark blue galactic dragon. This is a beautiful blue. It's a galactic blue, I would say, and lots of sparkles. Anybody that's encountered this dragon, he's full of sparkles. And he is here to help us listen to the voices of the universe. It ignites codes of our master blueprint and helps us access cosmic wisdom and enter into higher service. So again, the card I pulled matches right up with this portal. So I did want to read you from, some of you have this Diana Cooper's Dragons, but I think this really sums up what today is about, going into our next steps towards next month's Lionsgate. Your soul journey has taken you to the stars and beyond. The dark blue galactic dragon now invites you to communicate with the masters of the universe, the Intergalactic Council, where you can contribute your energy for the smooth ascension of the planet. It is time to listen and serve. Ask the wondrous dragon who has come to you to tune you into the Intergalactic Council, where you will be offered the honor of petitioning the council. Decide whether your petition is for the welfare of animals or humanity, or to assist the ascension of the planet. Then ask the dragons to take you to the council to present your petition. Dark blue galactic dragons will also instruct you during meditation or sleep. This will enable you to serve in a galactic capacity and will hugely expand your energy field. So those of you that haven't yet traveled to the galactic realms, this is a good start for you. As you all know, when you're encountering your dragons, it's listen to them. They're not far away from us. And if you caught Diana Cooper's presentation on the Dragon Thunder, she beautifully describes, she's just such a nice, I mean, she's been doing this work for many, a long time. And she talks about the galactic dragons. And as all of you know, that is where my work is in the galactic realms. So again, if you have Diana's oracle deck, pull this out and meditate on it. You can just ask. It's not difficult to connect with the dragons. They're all here. They're waiting for us to connect. So I also wanted to, as I always do at the end of my videos, tell you about two things that are coming up in a couple of weeks. July 13th, Thursday, July 13th, I am going to host the first Dragon Hour, which is going to be on Zoom. It's free, and my hope is to bring together like-minded dragon lovers to answer questions, talk about dragons. Maybe I'll pull some cards, but bring your questions. There'll be people, I've got people signing up actually from as far away as Australia. I think it's their early morning, so we might have a couple of guests from Australia and a couple of other, and there's a few people signed up from England. I'm not sure our times match up, but I will record that. It is on my private page on Facebook. So if you want to join that, go to my website, which is eastcoastdragonlady.com, and there's a ticker tape going across where you can just hit Facebook and you can join my private group, which is where I started posting these like 2-minute reels, and now things are moving fast, so I'm having to do longer, so I'm up to almost 10 minutes. And then the other thing I wanted, and I'll be talking about this more often, because the dragons before Dragon Thunder were telling me I needed to start teaching or moving into that realm of teaching what I know about dragons, and they gave me 3 areas that they wanted me to offer classes in. So this isn't happening till the fall, but it's certainly worth you looking at. Again, go onto my website. You'll see there's two parts to the flyer. One is Peter and I are doing this together, and and the other part is the curriculum. The dragons are going to channel that information to me. They already gave me a heads up yesterday that today they are going to be giving me some downloads. If you've listened to anybody else about dragons, it appears that the dragons love to sit us down and then tell us what we need to write. And that's certainly what they've told me that I need to do in another area, which I'm working on. Not ready to share that yet, but there is some other things coming. If you've been following me, this has been a pretty fast journey. So I seem to have rapid stuff, then stop. They literally gave me a reprise of about 6 weeks of still doing this, but they were like, I needed to concentrate on Dragon Thunder. The other thing you've heard me talk about Dragon Thunder, if you didn't manage to get to the all-day event, there are recordings of all of the presenters. You can go on to dragonthunder.info. If you signed up for it, you can just sign in with your password and you'll get taken to where all the presenters are. There's now 30 up, and they're all around about 45 minutes. So that's maybe 7 for the winter or a snow day. The energy is intense. And I will just say, even for those that have been doing the work, the dragon energy is intense, and you might want to pace yourself. A lot of people at the conference were saying that they were feeling unwell. It was a huge blast of energy. For me, when I get overloaded, it tends to slow me down. And I had planned that would happen. So it wasn't until a couple of days ago that I really felt that I'd integrated that energy. And it's still integrating. And, we need to keep ourselves grounded. We keep ourselves hydrated. And on the East Coast, we're really struggling with the heat. It's not normal for us to have long stretches of hot, dry weather. So it's very tropical here. It's affecting a lot of people's breathing. Our skin's very dry. Those of you that have it all the time know. But so I'm just complaining about the East Coast, right? But it'll be snowing soon. So, then we'll be complaining about the cold. So we go from one extreme to the other. So that's all I have today. I would love, some of you are emailing me, which is great. Any questions that you have, please come to the Dragon Hour. It's actually an hour and a half, but we're calling it the Dragon Hour. And then I will see, we can talk about that in that Dragon Hour, whether we want to do it once a month, whether we need to do it every couple of weeks. But it really is for brand new people or people that have been doing this a long time. And I think we'll find that balance. It's amazing how we're all getting similar. Like when we talk about what we know, it's similar but different. So this is like really exciting times, and really exciting for me to meet people that are doing things like Dragon Reiki and embodying dragons. I'm just like, I'm like a kid in a toy store. So it really is a very exciting time. Remember, we chose it to come to Earth at this time, and things are opening up. So stay grounded, stay hydrated, and I will be back again tomorrow with a real, or maybe longer. But have a good and happy Friday and a great weekend.